Okay, hey guys. Doing 2021 forecast readings. This one is for Aries. I realized I skipped Aries and went straight to Taurus, so I'm backpedaling here and I'm filling in this space. I actually already started your reading once and my tablet died because I wasn't paying attention, but it looked good what I saw so far. What I'm going to do is how I'm going to do this reading. Instead of pulling a card for every month of the year to kind of shed light on what's to come, I'm going to do this reading as seasonal. So we're going to do it in quarters. We're going to go winter into spring, spring into summer, summer into fall, and back into winter, December 2021. How this reading is going to go is I'm basically reading on the energies for each time of year, what's going to be around you, what to pay attention to. I'm going to start with Kim Cran's deck right here. This deck, I'm going to pull all of the major signifier cards for each quarter, and then I'm going to clarify with my Rider-Waite deck. So I'm just going to get started. 2 cards have fallen out. We have the King of Cups in reverse, and we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. I want to pull one more. A bunch fell out. The 7 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. I feel like you're in a good place. That's the sense I got from your last reading too, based on all this Cups energy. Being in touch with your own personal truth and evaluating what it is that you want exactly, but there seems to be this blocker in the way with the 3 of Wands and the King of Cups in reverse. What's this blocker about? Things were looking real good. Yep, new adventures. Okay, like I just said, adventures of the heart. Coming from your heart space and your truth. Happiness in the heart and grief in the heart as well. This time of year, at the beginning of the year for you. Knowing that perhaps you have to leave something behind to step into 2021. I haven't gotten that sense for all of the signs I've read for yet. Capricorn stood out, and now Aries. Making a conscious decision to maybe leave something behind that grieves you, but you know that it's necessary to step into 2021 in a new direction, in a direction that serves your higher purpose. Let's pull some more. 3 of Pentacles upright. The King of Wands. And the 9 of Wands. A couple more. Yeah, okay. Whatever you've been invested with thus far, and I think it has to do with your creativity, possibly your work, possibly projects. I feel like maybe for the past while, but definitely moving into the new year, you're going to be giving serious consideration to your attachment to it, and if it's really working for you anymore at this point, because I see you being really creative and just like wanting to step it forth into something completely new, and it could have to do with building with other people, taking a more grounded approach with things that are physical around you as opposed to emotions, providing for yourself. 9 of Pentacles on the bottom, standing on your own 2 feet. Death of, oh, this is interesting. There might have been a connection to someone in the past. These just came up on the bottom of the deck, but you have the King of Cups upright as well as in reverse. And maybe you're really making some conscious decisions to disconnect from this energy, whether it's an employer, a spouse, a friend. You're probably not seeing eye to eye with this energy or this person, or you haven't. And you're really contemplating rebirthing yourself without it, without the energy, without this person, into something else. Sorry guys, my kids are awesome. My daughter just made me a bowl of KD and brought it up. It's tasty. Anyway, I feel like this first quarter, Aries is going to be very focused on themselves. There's chariots under at the bottom of the deck in your own personal journeys. Stepping forth confidently in your own skin. But without this obvious love connection from the past, however that resonates, whether it's family, a spouse, whatever it may be, a friendship. Do you disconnect from that? I think you're asking yourself that question. Let's look at the second quarter of the year. Pulling from Kim Cran's deck. Lots of wands. Here is the Knight of Wands. Second quarter, so we're looking early or spring into early summer. Let's pull 2 more cards to represent Aries' second quarter of the year for 2021. Oh, that was just sitting up here. 7 of Wands. What's coming to mind for Aries is like, you're obviously making some type of progression. I kind of feel like it might be into a management role of some type. I feel like this might be a little work related or project related. And, you know, I feel like you might feel like you have to defend your position a little bit. But do you? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Defending your position. Queen of Swords. More than 3 fell it, but that's okay. The Emperor and the Empress. And Strength. Fiercely defending your position. And I think that it does, to a degree, have to do with image and people who follow you, possibly people that work for you. It's almost like you're in a frame of mind where you're building an empire for yourself where you reign supreme on your own. I don't feel like this is with somebody else. I feel like there's almost been a disconnection from someone that is prompting you to rule your own empire. You're obviously feeling empowered here, second quarter of the year, but you're also feeling slightly defensive. So what's that about? Let's clarify on that a little bit. Pulling back to the Rider-Waite deck. What does Rider-Waite have to say about that? I feel like you're in a good position right now. Like a fortunate position. And actually some of the cards that came out in the reading that I had started for you earlier before my tablet died was a lot of good fortune. Oh, something's turned upside down here. I read them like I see them, so defending yourself. The 3 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Wands in reverse. The Page of Swords in reverse. The the High Priestess in reverse. The Star in reverse. And the 9 of Cups. In pursuit of your successes and your glory. Like, I feel like you're going to go through this point in the warmer season where you're riding this high horse of glory, and all this good fortune has come to you, and you're like running the show. You're in charge. You're obviously in charge. I think the message here is don't be so in charge that you disconnect from yourself in pursuit of your abundance. I almost feel like you're going to be very in touch with what's physically around you and losing disconnection with your mind a little bit. Almost like you're going to become a bit robotic. That's what it feels. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm not taking all those. Hold on, I'm going to pick all those up. Sorry about that, guys. Bunch of cards fell out. It was like a genuine slip of the hand, so I'm not going to acknowledge them. I'm just going to keep shuffling. But what I see here is you being in power and like ship shape. You run a tight ship. You don't have time for drama. You don't have time for unnecessary quarrel. You don't have time, to create even a social networking image for yourself. You're focused on work and what you have to do to kind of like rule this little kingdom that you've created for yourself. But there's this disconnection from spirit that I see in pursuit of all of the success. One more. I just want to pull one more. The Two of Wands. It's interesting. Two of Wands. That usually signifies a new journey of some type, creative energy, moving forward, identifying an idea with yourself, which is a huge change from what I see up here. I'm going to clarify forward. Let's read the third quarter for Aries. What does the third quarter look like? There's a lot of power here coming from you. Authoritarian power. Defending your position. Why? Queen of Cups. Two more. The Three of Swords upright. I feel like these two want to come out. The Star card upright. You had it in reverse before. You also had the Three of Swords in reverse. The Sun. This is such an interesting lineup. Let's clarify. I need to clarify. I can't even actually, I'm stumped. Like I can't even begin to clarify that on my own. All these reverse upright cards, back and forth, back and forth. Another Queen of Cups and Temperance. I got the sense from the summertime here that you're going to be feeling very disconnected, I think. Communication is not going to be working at its best. You're just like running the show, and how you feel isn't necessarily a factor at the moment. Into the third part of the year, from summer, late summer into fall, something's going to pick at your heartstrings a little bit about your happiness. And coming from your heart and questioning, like, it's almost like, what have I been doing for the past year? All this success, you're going to be questioning yourself if you actually feel grounded. All of this success, is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's what it feels like. Temperance. The Hierophant. Is there more? You could be receiving contracts, outside contracts, coming in, people approaching you in regards to your future and your happiness here. You might be stepping out into something new at this time of year. But it has to do with this role that you're playing, this authoritarian role. Like I keep seeing this. You are obviously viewed as a good person to follow. I get that sense. But something around here where maybe your heart wasn't open before, you weren't following your heart space or open to that heartfelt communication mid-year. You're going to start to feel it towards the end of the year. You're probably going to be feeling a little imbalanced and thus seeking some type of balance here. I have all this success. I have all this stuff. Is it worth it? Am I fulfilling my higher purpose? Is there more that I could do? Is there more that I could give back? It has to do with your future. Let's look at the final quarter for Aries. I'm going to pull 3 cards. We're now looking late fall into winter, into December 2021. Let's see what that looks like. 3 cards came out. I feel like I'm supposed to go this way. Spreading yourself out. Four of Pentacles. 6 of Cups. Lots of sixes, lots of balance, lots of more nurturing, grounded energy. Like, I feel like at that half part of the year, like, don't let the power go to your head. We have this more grounded energy coming in the later part of the year, and perhaps that's part of it, is that mid-year, all of this excitement, all this success and change maybe is going to go to your head a bit, and things are going to start to balance out later in the year. What are you going to do with your successes, Aries? Let's clarify. Six of Wands, 3 of Cups. The Sun again. The 8 of Swords. One more. Ten of Cups. 4 of Wands. Your home is going to be balanced at the end of the year. And what do I do with all of this accumulation that I have now? That seems to be the question that keeps popping forward to me for Aries. It looks good at the end of the year. Like, you're going to be coming into this like provider role, whereas before you had this authoritarian type of energy going on around you, or perhaps people perceived you that way, and you don't want to be perceived that way. You're not an authoritarian, although Aries is like the ram, right? Like this way. There's obviously this softer side of you that you want other people to see. Something that just came to my head is, do you want to be a boss or do you want to be a leader? Do you want to tell people what to do and push them, or do you want people to naturally follow you? And this might be something that you're going to be going through, how you want to lead people. I feel that this has a lot to do with having a position of great responsibility. Oh, these were up and I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's almost like the Cups want to silence and muffle out the swords that you had mid-year. It's almost like this disconnection that you were feeling, this disconnection in communication. It's all going to start to make sense at the end of the year, and you're going to want to communicate it better. And you, I think, want people to see you for the soft person that you legitimately are. Like, yes, you're very focused and you're possibly even very business oriented. And sometimes people might view you as a hard ass, but the truth is that's not who you are in your totality. So how do we, oh, see, Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And I was just about to say, how do we share this more vulnerable part of ourselves, this more emotional part, in a way that people understand? Because I feel like that's what this is about. You have all this good stuff going on for you, but there's this human disconnection from it that you don't like towards the end of the year. And you want to be more connected and better understood. The Emperor, and the Empress, no, the Emperor, although hard, is very loving and nurturing and giving and very wise, right? Yes, strict authoritarian hand, but loves with a whole heart as well. How do we put ourselves out at the end of the year? How do we change, this view that you've acquired from others perhaps, that just isn't maybe true about you? So many. You had the High Priestess in reverse mid-year. Part of the answer that you're looking for, you got it upright here, as well as Judgment. And Temperance in reverse. Get humble with yourself. I feel like I'm supposed to say that. Get humble with yourself. Wands, creativity here. 10 of Pentacles. You're gonna have to learn how to appeal to people. Walk gracefully, talk gracefully. You're going to have to learn how to attract people's attention in a different way, but you are hyper resourceful. It is possible within yourself to do that. Share your stories, get vulnerable with people. Tell people how you've come to be. If you have all of this great success, you weren't born with a briefcase and a 6-figure bank account, right? I'm just making an analogy. At one point, you probably flip burgers, wash dishes, or clean toilets. Get real with people. Tell them who you are, where you're from, and how you got to be where you are. You are not perfect. And I think that part of this image that was created for yourself mid-year and is kind of trailing into the end of the year that you don't like is because that vulnerability is lacking. You're not perfect. Share the imperfections about yourself with other people. Maybe that's part of your work here. Tempering yourself, acknowledging the good with the bad. Okay, good and bad. One is upright, one is in reverse. There's imbalance here because you're not balanced. This is about kind of getting humble and getting truthful about your roots. There was a 6 of Cups in here somewhere, and it was in reverse. There it is. Roots. Literally and figuratively. Getting in touch. Remember the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Do you remember that time Uncle Phil, he had to give a speech, right, about all his successes and where he came from, and his mom and his pa were there, and they came to dinner with their fried chicken and their potatoes and stuff. And Uncle Phil didn't want to tell anybody about where his true roots came from and where his success came from. Uncle Phil did the right thing. And he shared himself in a vulnerable way with other people. And I know that's the craziest, youthful, immature analogy that I could come up with, but that's what I've got. Get real with people here. I can hear my son snickering downstairs at my analogy. He's still laughing at me. You love Uncle Phil, Jacob. Yeah. Last messages from... That was a good episode, right? It was a good episode. See? He concurs. All right. Last messages from the universe. Yeah, come from your heart. Be vulnerable, okay? It's going to feel awkward at first, right? It's not something that you're used to, especially being the ram. Awkward situations, you just jump out of the way, right? Don't be afraid. This fear of judgment, I think, is partly in the way too. Okay, judgment of your work and how you conduct yourself. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. How you connect with other people. Come from your heart and just be honest. be honest. I think that's the thing this year, is like allowing people to see who you really are without this authoritarian backdrop kind of looming over you. What is this one? This is upside down. Eight of Pentacles upright. Again, the imbalance. There's a lot of repeat cards that are upright and in reverse. And you got to be true to yourself. Be true with others about yourself as well. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be a certain way. This picture that we paint for other people of ourselves that just isn't necessarily true. You don't have to do that. That's your message for 2021. Okay, Aries. From me to you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, best wishes, and stay safe and make wise choices.